at it.
Yeah, that's good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's weird not having anybody here. There's people all right here back there
Oh,
standing.
really?
Yeah, like
All
it's the
right.
first time I had nobody here.
That's cool.
So we'll do it anyways. All right, welcome into Off the Cleat. Another episode this week. Got a guest here local from Columbiana currently, but he's been all over the place. We'll get into that in a second. Just want to make a couple quick announcements. The boat giveaway ticket sales. We got a few more dates for those where you can buy them. We're going to do it April 5th, I believe it is, at Layport. Then we'll have the April 26th, I believe, Saturday at Airport Marine. Then the meet and greet on May 10th at Waxahachie. So your next three options are times to get the tickets for the boat giveaway. There's 500 tickets only. They're $100 a piece. And it is a 2025 low 210 tri-tune with a 150 on it. Our friends at Airport Marine and sponsor are partnering with us on that. And also City of Columbiana and Main Street Columbiana also. The event will be downtown Columbiana. So next chance to get your tickets is then. We'll post an updated calendar on that by the time this video comes out on Thursday. And we'll get right to it. So we're done with the announcements. So my guest today, some of you may know him from different things. So my wife said your name's Hayo. Is that how you actually pronounce your name?
Yeah, basically this is just a nickname.
Yeah.
You know, that's everybody know me by Hayo.
Hayo.
Yeah. But my real ID name is basically like a little bit complicated. That's why everybody call me Hayo. It's like Eliwe and I.
Yeah.
So go by Hayo. It's more simple.
Oh, that works in Hayo. Yes.
Hayo, yeah.
So just a brief what I know about him. I know a little bit about him because my wife works out at a gym up there, and I've seen him around town and stuff. But here comes the wife walking in now. Our city audience is small tonight, but anyway, so I'm just going to give a brief overview of kind of what I know about him. Then we're going to jump right into it and ask him about his life. Born in Brazil, grew up in Brazil, immigrated to America, is still active duty Army.
National Guard.
Army National Guard. Jiu-jitsu world champion representing the U.S. Has his own gym here in town. That's kind of it in a nutshell that I know about you.
Mm-hmm.
You just got married. Do know that too.
Yeah.
So I guess to start, I guess you were born in Brazil. What was life like that as a kid there, and when did you come to America? And kind of what was your reasoning to try to come to America? I guess.
Yeah. I was not the lucky one to born on the richer side over the over there in Brazil. So it's a beautiful country, but also it can be really hard. You know, like especially on my side, like it's kind of hard to describe that, but I'll say like over there it's not actually so much middle class. You know, either you poor, you do rich. You know, so. It was tough growing up over there, you know, very, very difficult. The influence of drugs and all that stuff, like it's very open over there, very accessible, especially the young men over there. And that's the reason I got involved with sport way too early. I was 10 years old when I started doing this sport, and my dad put me to do this sport, right? So
10 years old, wow, started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's when I started, like, his focus was for me to doing the sport to make my life as much as possible busy, and I wouldn't have so much like a vague time to not be distracted with other things. Like that's kind of like a more dangerous to do it type of thing. Yeah. So I started doing sport when I was 10 years old, and growing up Brazil, like I said, was very difficult, and just like you asking me what's the difference between here and there, you said?
Well, no, I didn't really ask that. I mean, if you want to get into that, you could. Like, but I was just kind of wondering, like, you know, what was it like growing up? So struggle, obviously. Grew up poor. Started jiu-jitsu at 10. Any other sports besides jiu-jitsu?
I did soccer too, though. Like my daddy would love to become like a soccer player.
Oh yeah, if you're over in England right now playing in the Premier League,
yeah, it would be probably millionaires.
You know, you could be a backup over there and be a millionaire.
I know. So yeah, but it didn't work out. I was not that good with the soccer ball. You know, I was more like I felt like I born more into the fight scenario. You know, and I would play a little bit of soccer, a little bit, but I was more involved with the martial art more than any other stuff.
Okay, so just martial art, just jiu-jitsu, or do you do other stuff?
No, yeah, I did the jiu-jitsu. Basically, the jiu-jitsu is the art that is my DNA. Basically, was my first what I started, you know. And growing up a little bit when I was over in my 14 to 16 years old, I was start getting introduced to like Muay Thai, like which is the
Mm.
strike, and that was me getting ready to start fighting like a mixed martial arts,
Mm.
which is the MMA and all that stuff. So I had to kind of like mix a little bit um, on my training, not just be focused so much on grappling, but also
Mm.
be able to learn a little bit of strike, so I could fight in MMAs like I used to fight like
Yeah.
many years ago back in Brazil.
So you did do MMA
I did
also
MMA
as
back
well
in
too.
Brazil. Yeah, I did it
Wow.
like early, when I was really young.
Yeah. Well, I guess shit. I mean, Brazil. That's kind of where jiu-jitsu came from, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the
Basically,
Gracies and all
uh-huh.
that. Aren't they Brazilian, correct?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
opposite. Basically, the Gracies, they modified the art to
Mm-hmm.
be able to be into sports, But jiu-jitsu is basically was created in Japan. But the Brazilians, yeah, the Brazilian, they basically make into a sport,
Yeah.
and that's what the Brazilian jiu-jitsu actually begin as a sport with tournaments and other stuff over there. So that's
Okay.
what happened. Yeah.
Cool. And so you did that. You said like so. You said up to about 17. So that time frame just for I guess Brazil. Like you go to school all the way up to high school, like that
Yeah,
age,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you do
we
in
do. Yeah,
U.S.
I was doing the sport while I was going to high
Mm-hmm.
school and the school and stuff like that. Yeah, so I started off on the jiu-jitsu, and then
Yeah.
by the time I was on my 16, 17, I was already getting ready to fight my first MMAs and all that stuff.
Okay. Last question about your childhood, and we'll move on to the fighting stuff. Did you grow up in like a big area of Brazil? A lot of people, big school? Was it really a small town? What was
Yeah,
the size wise?
really big, like metropolis,
Like
like
city? Okay, you
it's
grew up in the city. Okay,
big
okay.
city, very big cities. Now it's funny because like a lot of people think like when talk about Brazil, they only think about Rio or Amazon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's actually Brazil is huge
Oh,
country.
it's a massive
Yeah, it's
country.
a
Yeah.
massive country, and I that's where basically I actually I originally I'm from Amazon, right? I born in Amazon, and then we moved out of there to the city when I
Oh
went to
wow.
I went to Recife where I grew up, but then like because of the job of my dad, we basically has to move on around a little bit, so I ended up had to live a little bit in Rio de Janeiro too as well,
Mm-hmm.
and this was my sister born. So, but yeah, so it's a huge. I grew up in a very big city.
Okay.
Yeah,
So being in Columbiana is a little different then. Yeah.
I'm probably like 40 times
Yeah,
more
but
bigger,
you,
way
you like the
bigger.
small town better than the big city?
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like this way much more than being in big cities. I used before I come over here. I was living also in Southside Beamer, and I don't really like it at all.
Yeah. That's
The,
not even a big city compared to Rio.
exactly. Yeah.
That's little.
That's true. Yeah, but that's how it was in Brazil. It's just like I said, beautiful place. But like if you're not have your mind busy with things, you can get hooked with some other stuff that's
Yeah.
not good for you down the road. And I lose some friends with that too as well.
Yeah, I could see that. So I guess so you get up to about 17, you're still fighting. So where did that fighting at 17, probably you finish high school and then how did you end up I guess from that bridge to coming to America? Did you go traveling around fighting or
Yeah, I did try really hard first in Brazil. I was travel all over the places over there. Um, part of that, I'm gotta be careful with the times frame to not say the wrong dates because I'm really horrible with dates. But part of that, I did have a little bit of a little small pause because I went to serve. I
yeah.
serve over there. Then when I finished my serve over there, I went back straight to the sport again, try to give a shot to see if I could make an inter career like I was like I would live out of the country, going to like South America, Brazil, like South America, where Argentina, Paraguay, all those countries were there,
Yeah.
going to tournaments, competitions over there. Try to main goal was get out of where I was at. Like
Yeah.
the sport that I'm doing today was basically I normally say Jesus, like God did use this sport to save my life, And my dad always told me, hey, Nate, look, you gotta get out of here. You need to
Yeah.
get out of here. Like any opportunity you have to get hell out of here, you
Yeah.
get out of here.
Man.
And through this sport, that's it. This sport is gonna get you out of here. Just keep it focused, keep training. So I did the training, because I really like it, really enjoy it. But I already was literally training like professional, like basically a very strict mentality as an athlete since I was like on my 14s because
Yeah.
my goals was get the opportunity to leave the where I was at to another better opportunity because over there
Wow.
I would not be happy too much.
Man, that's some crazy dedication at 14. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we see kids here that are athletes, play football and stuff, and that they work their butt off too. But
Yeah.
they kind of want to get at the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You were more like, I want to get somewhere just better in life. You
Yeah.
weren't like, obviously jiu-jitsu is not the NFL. We
Mm-hmm.
said you weren't no good at soccer, right? So,
No, yeah.
but yeah, you had a mindset at that young of an age. That's very impressive to have that vision to, I'm doing this because I want to go somewhere better, not because I want
Yeah.
to be, successful or
Mm-hmm.
rich or anything of that nature,
Yeah.
because I want to be better. And your dad, told you to do it. That's
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yeah. I had to do that, you know.
So that was so you started traveling around, and then, I mean, how did you end up here? I mean, how did you end up, like,
Man,
where in the U.S. did you go first?
I went to first to LA.
Yeah, okay.
I went to LA first, you know. I was right there in Los Angeles for a little bit. I think I arrived in 2012. That was first time I come to the United
When was
States.
that?
2012.
2012, so about
2012.
13 years ago. So
Yeah, so I arrived in 2012 right there in Los Angeles, and it was crazy, man. When
yeah,
it was crazy because what happened was just like I applied first. I won the South American Championship at the 2011. Right, so when I won that title, being like a South American champion, then
Mhm.
I had the chance to come to represent Brazil and World Championship over here in 2012. So
Okay,
that's basically what got me entry to the United States. Because first to come to the United States is really hard because of visa,
hmm,
right? It's a lot of paperwork and it's not easy to get. To be honest, to come
yeah,
here to the front door, it's not really easy,
yeah.
right?
They said that, all in the news. Like, they
Yeah,
said it's one of the problems is just there's such a huge backlog of people trying to get in that
yeah,
didn't
it's
even get
very
processed.
difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. So what helped me to be accepted to come here, to be able to get the visa to come here first was like in 2011, I won the South American Championship in Argentina when I competed. I was in a different country, and I was I was qualified to compete at the Worlds, but the Worlds in the United States. So I went to the embassy of the United States there in Brazil, and I applied for the competition, and I bring my titles. I bring all the letters for the federation. I even had the letter from the government that says and explains that I was athlete representing Brazil to compete at the Worlds and all this stuff to be able to get the visa. So I got the visa and got approved everything. And but I already knew, like I said, if I get this visa, I'm going to States. I'm gonna do everything that I can in my power to be able to stay.
Mhm.
Because like that's my chance. That's the chance of my life.
How long was
And
your visa good for?
that what happens like you get 6 months,
Hmm.
right? And if you prove that you have a reason to stay, they give another 6 months
Okay,
until you exchange that for athletic visa. So I was just always like try to. It's almost like a big probation,
yeah.
on my case. So I always have to reply and all this stuff. And so when I first I come over here, I don't speak English. I didn't know not
Oh,
about the
none.
English,
Oh,
nothing,
wow.
nothing, nothing, nothing. I have a telephone, a cell phone, a telephone number, and a piece of paper, and then one phrase that somebody write it for me. That somebody that keeps speaking English that says, "Sorry, I don't speak English. Can you help me call this number?" That's all it has in the paper. So I got in LA, yeah, and then I knew for a fact before I left to Brazil that I raised this gym in Los Angeles that has other Brazilians that was there for a camp training
Hmm.
before prior to Worlds, and that's where I was going. And it has the number of the gym, And so when I got in Los Angeles, I got out there playing, and I was just looking around, trying to find somebody that looks more like a nice person. So I found a young guy, come with this telephone, base piece of paper, shirt to him, start pointing for him, and he look. So he noticed I was
Yeah.
needed help. So he got his cell phone, and called that number and give the phone back to me. So now I have to talk on the phone. And when somebody answers the phone, I just start like say, hey, um, I need somebody to speak Português. Somebody speak Português. But I was talking in
Yeah.
Português. I said, tem alguém que fala português aí, por favor? Chama alguém que pode falar português. Eu sou Brasil, Brasil, jiu-jitsu. Chama alguém que fala português aí. And then like I just remember that somebody said the other side, hey man, that is somebody been speaking the Portuguese over here. Somebody come over here. So then somebody come. It was one of the Brazilian guys that was there. And they get the phone and say, who's this? I say, hey man, look, I come from Brazil. I'm a student from Zé Radiola, was my sensei. He told me about this gym that is a bunch of Brazilians over there doing the camp training for the wars, and I come here. I'm part of the team too as well. So I don't know how to get there, guys. Can you guys help me out, please? I It's where you at? So I said, I'm in LX, I'm in right here. So give me description exactly where you are. So I start like a go towards to outside. The guys that hitting the point start follow me, and I was giving the direction that where I was, like the number of the place that I was. As I say, I'm in front like the gate American Airlines. I keep giving the information. This guy said, okay, hang in there. We'll come to get you. I say, Roger that. And I give the phone back to the guy, man. I wait for about 3 hours over there. Wait for these people come to pick me up.
LA traffic.
Yeah, so I was just like sit over there waiting, and after 2 hours, I start getting nervous, I say, man, I don't think this people's gonna get it. So I start praying, I start praying to God, God to help me out with this, because I don't know what's gonna happen. And I start get so nervous that I start crying, man. I got so scared, that I start crying nervous. So I don't know at this point if I go back to the airport, try to find somebody or see if I still look somebody that look a little bit nice, then don't be think that I'm crazy with asking for
Yeah.
a telephone call again. But the point that if I go over there, I'm scared to lose those guys over here. So I was just over there, and then finally there's a truck coming up, and I have my backpack and I have my uniform, my gi, right? I'll hang it with my hands outside of my armor right there, so they noticed that was me, because those
Yeah.
guys don't even know who I was, man.
Yeah.
So then they say, "You're Brazilian jiu-jitsu?" I said, "Yes, I am." Yeah, that's me. That's me. So I hop inside the truck, I start cleaning my eyes. I said, "Why you cry?" I says, "Man, I was scared. I thought nobody come and pick me up." And. So that's how my life actually started here in the
Wow.
United States. 2012. Learned speak no English. Did not know exactly what I'm gonna be with only $300 in my pocket, and then a backpack and with like a few clothes on, and that's it.
And I guess you've been here pretty much ever since.
Yeah, been here since, The little bit different
So,
situation right now, better than that one first
yeah,
came.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just changed a little
Yeah,
bit,
I love
but
bigger change, a bigger change. I come from the like little. Now I use impression like I come from the trench in Brazil, and I was in the trench here when I get here too. So it's been a big long journey.
yeah, man, that is unbelievable. So
Yeah.
you got here in 13. So what led you to like the National Guard? What was
Well, I serve in Brazil. I enjoy it so much.
how long was the service in Brazil?
It's 5 years,
Okay.
right? So, and I don't want to leave. I don't want to get out of the military. But what happens over there is that you are enlistment in Brazil is an obligation. You have to enlist, right? And you stay in some period of time, and you have to leave after that too as well. So the young guys can coming in and serve too as well. So when I left, I didn't want to left. I was actually basically not just me, but everybody else get a kick out. So the other guys can coming in and take our spot. That's a recycle that.
Yep.
So you can stay a lot as long you can, like 5, 7, 8, no more than 7 years, right? But you can stay 2 years, 1 year, it all depends. So I got to stay a little bit more, and then I had to leave, and I was a little bit upset about it. Didn't like it much because I really liked the military life and all the
Yeah.
stuff. So I was the first originally. I was trying to go to France. They has the military over there. They call French for Legion,
Mm-hmm.
and that's they taking people from all over the world, right? But every time I was trying to get them ready to go over there, something happened. I could never go over there, so it didn't never actually really work out. And it didn't work out when it comes to the United States. In better fact, my professor even told me before my last shot to go to France. My professor come from me and say, "Hey, dude, look, you crazy about this military thing? You ever heard about the U.S. Army, U.S. military?" I say, "Of course I heard about it. Man, they are powerful. So how about you go to the United States? You just wanted America, the South America. Apply for your visa, go to the United States, won the words. I mean, they're in the war right now with Afghanistan and Iraq. They would take you in a heartbeat." I said, Roger that, I'm going to take it down, go. So I did that. So I come over here, fight the wars. Did not won the wars, but I still got third place in the wars. And I stayed the first 3 months that I got here. I didn't speak no English or nothing, right? So I was just trying to learn English. And the owner of the gym that I was staying in California, find this place in Pasadena University that give you like basic English for free. So I get enrolled in a class. So and after like 4 months, I was able to communicate a little bit more with the people, and all this stuff. So I fight the words, and after the worshipship was done, everybody would start flying back. You know that we had the people from several part of the world. So Brazil was one that has we got some people from Europe too as well. So who was from Europe went back to Europe. Who was from Brazil started going back to Brazil. And I said, I ain't gonna go right now. I'm gonna try to stay. So first things I did was go to the recruiter center and explain the situation. And at the time, there was even a waiver, the ASVAB, because there's a test you gotta take,
Mm-hmm.
because there was needed more people over there. So I tried, but had only 4 months in country, and then the requirement at the time I had to at least 9 months on U.S. soil to be able to try to enlist. So I waited like another 5 months, but by the time this 5 months went through, then that was one actually the end of like close to the end of 2012 was one of Obama declared the end of the war and they started bringing back the first troops home. So would that happen? Would that change the whole standards again to enjoy the military at that time? Right. So then now they would count the ASVAB. Now my basically athletic visa was no longer acceptable to enjoy the army. So it just put me way more back on my plan. Right.
Yeah.
So I had to wait. And then I'll just continue proceed with my dream. Still continue to train and stuff like that. Um, and like right now in 2020, 2021 was the one I actually finally was able to pass my ASVAB test, right, and join the army. So I had to go to GD first. So it took about 3 years for me because now you're required to have a GD. You required because my high school diploma from Brazil was not really recognized at the time to use.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I had to get the whole.
Oh,
I gotta
man.
go in the GD now. So I stay. And it's for me. I'll be honest. It was really freaking hard. It took about 3 years for me to finish my GD.
Well, you're still learning English, right?
Exactly. I was still learning English. Exactly. So I was studying really hard. I was trying really hard. So I finally passed and I was finished my GD, and then take another year or so, and then me trying really hard to pass an ASVAB. It took about like a little bit over 4 years for me to be able to pass with a good score and an ASVAB to enjoy an army, and that was that hard for me,
Yeah.
because like it's not so much because I don't knew the material, but it's because every time I get caught by the time I get caught on time, so I run out of time.
Oh, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
time.
definitely got to be hard,
Very
especially
difficult because I have to
Yeah.
read the question, and I have to sometimes in my brain translate it for me what that means and try
Yeah.
to answer those things. So that would take a little longer. And math, and not even so much math, but the English is, of course, was the one that they read the comprehension. They have the paragraph. They have to read and then
Yeah.
answer this question. So I read the paragraph, try to see what they actually mean, then go answer this question, get the options, right? So that was taking really longer for me. And that's the reason I was really hard to be able to pass on the ASVAB. And it's just like together with the GD and ASVAB, because while I was taking my GED, studying to finish my GD, I was already taking my ASVAB test every month, if not every other month. And I was a fail and fail and fail. I never met anybody that failed in tests in his life more than I did. I swear to God.
Yeah, but you didn't know the language. I mean, if they get to you
Yeah.
in Portuguese, you probably would have went right
Oh
on.
yeah, I was probably passed like in the
Yeah,
first
you've been
shot.
fine.
Yeah, but it was not the case. But like I say, everything happens in the perfect time of God, right? So God doesn't want me to enjoy the military at that time, right? So I was trying really hard, and to the point that I have agreement, I have a conversation with God and say, God, here's the deal. It seems like you don't want this for me, which is fine. But if you don't come perfectly on my dreams, or if you don't send the angels in front of me, tells me, hey, this is not what I want for you, I'm not gonna stop trying. So here's the deal, God. I'm gonna continue to try, and then when I blow up all my chances and everything, that is no longer a possibility to do anymore because of all my age and all that stuff, and the door is completely closed, then I'm gonna try to weave something else, try to do something else. Until that point, God, I'm gonna continue to try. And that's what I did. That's why it took about almost 4 years to be able to finish like everything, to finish my GD and pass NASRAB. And I went to the military and basic training for infantry school when I was in the age of 36, the old one, the entire battalion.
Wow.
The bunch young.
But you had more experience than they did. You've done 5 years in Brazil.
Yeah. They don't. Exactly. They take that for granted. They don't really count so much. Other experience, military experience you have from different countries, but it still counts. It's still
probably helps you a little bit going into
it helps. It does help. And But yeah, so I got some drill sergeant over there like make fun of me and I said, man, what the heck you waited so long to enjoy? I said, I ain't wait that long, man. It would
Yeah.
take that long because it was that hard you to passing this test. This test
Yeah.
was tough, you know.
Yeah. What he was doing wasn't nothing at that point, was it?
Yeah,
I
so
mean, you done went through all what you went through in
yeah.
4 years of getting that test, coming here with a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guy yelling at you was probably you're probably like this is maybe better.
Exactly. Yeah. Now that was fantastic for me. Like I like for any basic training military is supposed to be sucks, right? So
Yeah.
what sucks, but at the same time was the what sucks, but back in my brain, in my mind, it says I enjoy this, man. I've
You.
been making a dream coming true.
Mm-hmm.
This is so. To be honest, I was enjoy every little second of the that I was going through over there, you know, because I was getting the opportunity of my life. For a lot of people, which I know in the United States, a lot of people is very appreciate for the military. They're very patriotic and stuff like that. And but what I'm saying is like somebody say, yeah, I'm in the military. Oh, that's cool, that's cool. But for me, it was just like, man, I'm in the military. This is freaking awesome. It's almost like I won in a lottery, type of thing. That is special for me. So I felt really good about it.
So did the? I think you briefly mentioned it before the change in the recruiting stuff in 2012. Did that whole process, the military, like help you work on like the first visa extension and then
No,
citizenship or anything like
no,
that? That
no. The military really helped me after I get in. When I got in, because when I joined the military, I was not a citizen.
mm-hmm.
I was just a resident. And then the residence has a time frame that you have to renew. Every since 5 years, sometimes they give you now 10 years also residency. So you have to basically almost like qualify, right? So you pass the first 3 years, then you apply for that, so they give another 5 years, and if you being good residents, right, you pay your taxes. You know, you never be in arrest. You never be in any kind of trouble, so they let you continue to stay. You know, so that's why I was in my condition. I was a condition where that I could stay over here, but I was not citizen. But I was able to enjoy the military. Now, after enjoying the military, and I think like about 2 years after me serving, that was one when which took a little bit longer than supposed to be. Um, but after I get in the military, that it was when I actually become American citizen. I get that um, with like being serving. So that's how I become a U.S. citizen. Serving the military, like what I'm saying. I got that in an honorable way, by serving the country.
I agree. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there shouldn't be. It shouldn't take you 2 years
Well,
once
it's
you get
almost
in
two
there.
years, but
Yeah,
it was a lot of paperwork. They don't really know how to do anyways, neither. So there's a lot
yeah,
of miscommunication.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
but
government. It's
yeah, anything in the government just
yeah, everything takes long.
takes a
Yeah.
little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was funny. Like it's just kind of like I had a general that come to watch my fight in the war at the war games, right? So the fun thing is because the way I enjoy the Team USA, essentially you gotta be an American to be in the Team USA.
Yeah.
So when I got the chance to participate over the tryouts and everything, I used my military ID. So look, because so when they ask, hey, what's your passport? I say, I don't have my passport on me here, which I didn't have my passport, right? So I don't really lie. I just said I don't have
Yeah.
the passport over here, but I got something. So I showed my military, but I'm in the military. So I showed the military ID, and I explained that, look, I'm in the process to get my passport. I just didn't get it yet because they still work on the paperwork. But I have my military ID. This don't shows enough that I'm
And what
from the
time frame are
country.
we talking about now?
And we talk about like 2022.
2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So and that was like that was right beginning of 2022, right? So I showed it to them, and they looked at my military. They said, "Man, you serve the country, so you're American."
Yeah.
So they put me on the team. So when I was competing over there at the Worlds, this general come to see me and everything. So I had the opportunity to talk to him a little bit. Say, so can I talk to you about something? He says, yeah. I say, look, I love this country, and I've been serving and I've been in the Team USA. As a matter of fact, I compete for team for United States also in the Worlds to 2017 too as well, right? So this is my second time I actually competed for USA, and but I'm not officially, American citizen. I did not had my naturalization yet, and I don't know what do I have to do, but I just need help. And this man looked at me and say, "Are you not?" I said, "No, sir." He say, "That was Saturday. I talked to him on Saturday. I compete on Saturday." And I said, "I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. It's not like that. I just don't know who else I'm gonna ask for help for." And he said, "That's no problem." And by the end, I talked to him on Saturday on my tournament. But like before the end, over the Sunday, the armies don't work on Sundays.
Yeah.
I had a telephone call. Say, "Hey, I need you emailed me all the list that you have and what you don't have. We're gonna have to get accelerate this process now." So that's when they start pushing really hard, my paperwork. And that's when it is still they want the immigration want put me back to wait for about like 18 months, and then
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah, me serving the military, I was eligible already to get in the deployment. So if we got a deployment in any time of frame of that window, I would be going to deploy, not fully citizenship, fully citizen, if you understand the
Oh,
point.
that's
It is
unbelievable.
crazy, yeah. So with that, which we getting deployed right now, basically at the end of this year, we're about to leave. And then what happened is just like they try to speed the process, and instead of 18 months, praise God, that was way earlier than that, and I ended up getting my citizenship at the end of 2022.
No,
Yeah,
awesome. God, it took you to what?
yeah,
You said you come over in 12, 13, 12, 12, so 10 years.
yeah. It took
10 years
that.
and
Yeah,
unbelievable amount of work from having to learn English and pass all the tests in English and
yeah,
understand it. And then several years in the Army. And that's crazy.
yeah.
That
It's
is
just
crazy.
like you got to go the right path. It's gonna take a little
Yeah.
bit more over the obstacles, but it's gonna be so worth it. Then.
Yeah.
I think it's really worth it.
What time is it? How long have we been going? Oh, you
Now
got
we're good. It was 18, 6:14.
okay, we'll go for a few more minutes. I
Yeah.
don't think we can talk about everything with you on one. Try to get you back on again. We're trying to keep. Yeah, we're trying to keep them about
Yeah,
30
there's a lot of
minutes.
stories, man. I'm telling
Yes.
there's a lot
I
of
think
stories.
maybe we'll talk about a little bit right here about your gym and stuff. I think next
Uh,
time maybe come on instead of telling growing up and how you got here and all that. Maybe next time you can just kind of tell
yeah,
your
yeah,
fighting career story,
yeah,
how
yeah, for
that
sure.
went.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
awesome.
be good. Next time we can hit on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, so as far as the boat club with something, we had last year I believe it was, they had a kid that somebody knew and they reached out to us and the kid needed some little bit of discipline kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
he actually gave a discount, and we had a donation to help pay for a kid to go to his gym. So he obviously, if you don't think he gives back by what he just told, but he gave that little thing back that I know of with our little boat club. He gave back a little bit, gave a discount to help the kids
Yeah.
locally. So great steward of our community here in Columbiana is really awesome. So
Yeah, we try to do I try to do all what I can, like right as of right now. For example, I had about 6 members that is be training under scholarship. I would say I pay out of my pocket
mhm.
basically. If I don't charge them, it's gonna be paid anyways because I pay out of my pocket. So
Mhm.
it's always so much we can do it, because it's small
Yeah,
business and stuff like
yeah,
that. But there's some people that show up over there that they can't afford with and but need to be there
yeah,
and need to be trained. And majority of the time I'm talking about is the young teenagers and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that
So
kind of stuff. If you got a troubled kid, especially a boy that age,
hmm
getting in a gym and rolling around doing
yeah,
jiu-jitsu will humble you pretty quick.
very fast.
Yeah, when you got somebody half your size chokes you out.
Yeah,
I actually did about 6 months jiu-jitsu back in '07. I had
nice.
a friend of mine that was into it. He had a place in Hoover, and we all, being a couple guys, it wasn't really good. But I did it. I
Yeah,
have been choked out by a gi and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
that's good. That's
yeah,
pretty fun, man. It's a great
yeah,
sport. It's
it
a
is. I
yeah,
enjoy the heck out of it. We just everybody kind of went by their wayside. We weren't really like into it like that. It was just something to do, some guys, get some exercise. But I got
yeah.
a little, I have enough experience to know that it hurts.
It's good for your body. It's good for your mind too.
Yeah.
It's a great workout.
So yeah, so I just want to we'll talk about your fighting career really big next time and all
Yeah.
that. But you did, was it 2024? You won the world championship, right?
Yeah, is that this? Yeah, 2024 and in
Yes,
Greece.
in Greece. So he
Yeah,
won representing the United States in Greece. So we'll hit on that pretty heavy next time, how that was and
is
lead
it
up to that. And
was wonderful. See
yeah,
the national end coming up with the flag on,
Yeah.
raised above beyond all the other nations. It was like it really gave me like a
Yeah, I
cheers, you
remember.
know.
Yeah, Amelia come. Somehow we saw a post it. Maybe Rachel posted or something. We were just like,
It was the National Guard actually too.
okay,
Also,
that's what
they,
we were like.
we were
Oh my
like
god, we were like,
yeah,
we were screaming. We were like, that's unbelievable.
yeah,
So that was cool for us to experience.
yeah.
You experience it a little bit through a post to see you doing that. That was awesome.
That was
Well, you got
wonderful.
another dream that came true. You got your mom here now.
Yeah, I just got she here. In August, that will be my son too. Basically,
It's August. He'll be here.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
So,
been a long
oh yeah,
time.
that has to be something for sure. And
So is there any more family in Brazil?
I do,
Yeah.
I do have a brother and a sister, and then I have my son over there too as well. Something that really, when I talk about my son, it was just like it gets me, you know.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry,
but he's gonna be here soon.
but
so
he's gonna be here soon.
Let's be
Yeah,
happy about that. Let's don't be upset
I'm
about
happy.
that.
I'm happy. Yeah, that's is like if he coming down with tears is a happy tears, you know,
Yeah.
because I just got him like his documentation too as well. Like I went through the process, and he finally got approved. He got his visa, and he's be here soon.
I look forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Have him over and take him on a boat ride or something.
Oh, that would be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
mom
That'd be
too. I told you, I
wonderful.
text you that. Yeah, you got to bring your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom's here.
She's right here right now. She's right. She's at home right now. Yeah, she's here.
She's not on vacation. She's moved here. At least
She's
for-
not moving fully, but she's gonna be for a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
and then she's going back to Brazil,
Mhm.
and then like before my deployment, she will be back again.
Okay. How long's your deployment for?
There will be 9 months on country,
Mhm.
out of the country. I would say probably like it will be 11 months because
Total.
they do the pre-mobilization,
Mhm.
pre-mobile, right? They mobilize us a 1 month before our deployment, and at that time we no longer come back home. So then we leave for Africa. That's where we're going. We're going to the Horns of Africa. That's where we're going, and we stay there to 9 months.
Oh wow.
So that'll be 10 months already. So when we get back, for some reason they don't release us right away. So we have to stay another close to 30 days to
Wow.
to this mobile. Then we come out. So it's been roughly close to 11 months.
Wow. That's
Gone.
gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you got your mom here. Your son will be here. You know,
Yeah.
at least you got them anchored down here and hanging out waiting on you to come
Yeah,
back. That's got to
yeah.
be some good peace of
Man,
mind.
I'm
though.
telling you right now, I'll be honest with you. Like, I was excited to serve the army here, and I was excited to go whatever they want to send me for. You know, like I'll go for. But with everything that I have set down, look, my family getting documentation and
Yeah.
coming here to the United States through the front door. Man, at this point, they can send me to hell. I'll go fight. You know, you know what I'm saying? We don't respect my language.
No, man.
Forgive my language, you know,
that has
but-
a little power behind
You know
it.
what I'm
So
saying?
it's good.
But I really, I know that my English suck. You know, people are,
It's better than my Portuguese.
you know, people currently like people see me. Of course, they see that I'm not born in the United States. You
Yeah.
know, but I will tell you something. I do really love this country. You know, with all my heart. You know, and and that's where we learn. Like where I come from, we know. Men, you know, like us, I come from, we kill and we die for who we love, you know.
Yeah.
So I will love this country, man. This country literally gave me the opportunity, you know, like it took me like one of them. Is impressed like how the boys treat me in the army, you know, like they don't care, you know,
Yeah.
they call me brother and stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, like the true father is not just the one that put you in this world, but it's the one that carry you and take care of you and treat you right. So that's how I feel about the United States. I didn't born here, you know, but I was growing up in some point in my life over here, you know, and this country literally did take care of me really well. You know, it's a place that you have an opportunity, you take, you'll be successful.
Man, I guess we can end on that. I don't know if it gets any better than that, man.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And I'd say, as somebody that was born here, it's we probably do take it for granted a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because we're spoiled. We are, but it's refreshing to hear that from somebody that came here from another country. But you just told the story of how you got here, and that's unreal.
Man, I'm telling you, like I coming from below poverty line. So if you can only have a 2 meals a day because you can't have a third meal or fourth meal because there's no food,
Yeah.
like when you barely have what to eat, you know, at that point you're in the below poverty line. Now, that's where I come from, and you come over here to the country like this, and you're walking in some neighborhood over here, and then you find a tennis shoes right in the front, and it says 50 cents Nike. Yeah, I freak out when I saw that. Like my first tennis shoes, I paid 50 cents, and I was in California. I said, that cannot be true. And say, yeah, man, they sell 50 cents. And I went over there and I got the tennis shoes. I have like a couple of dollars to give it. They give me $1.50, $1.50 back to me, and I paid 50 cents for shoes. What they call, I think, is the yard sale,
Yard sale,
yard
yeah.
sale, on the yard sale, you know. And I was just can't believe it. And I sit down and say, this country is so blessed, but so blessed that they able to put such a nice shoes like this for 50 cents. This is crazy, you know. Like for me, it was above and beyond like my imagination. How crazy, how blessed this country is, you know. Like my TV, when I first got my TV, was donated. Let somebody have a TV outside, and they say for free, come and take it. Old TV, but it works, everything's fine. So that's what I'm saying. This country is so blessed, and that people really give you things away like that. That's how blessed this country is. That doesn't mean talking about the minimal thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how it is, man. That sometimes people don't really see how it is, but that's how it is, you know. And this is one of the reasons why the United States is so. Everyone in the world love and hate the United States. Everyone hates the United States, but everyone wants to be here.
Yeah.
The truth is, you know, like, because this is such a blessed country.
I mean, people like you keep it that way. People come here and have that attitude have definitely probably kept America going for years. Because, like I said, the people that are here, I mean, we don't see it that way. Yeah. I mean, we're not doing it on purpose, but we're, you know, we don't see what you see looking in, and that's really, like I said, it's crazy to hear that from somebody that fought to get here like that. Like I said, I think that type of mentality has probably kept this country going a long time, because people get here and get a generation or two, and we probably get complacent.
It get a little bit too comfortable sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
but,
well, there's perks to that, but you know, but you gotta have hard people like you, I think, in this world. I mean, look, man, we could wrap this up or keep talking till midnight, but you got to go train.
I know, I got these.
So just like I said, we'll get him on later on. We'll talk about his fight and stuff more, and maybe try to get you on death before you deploy. Maybe bring your mom or son, let them hang out. So maybe your mom would have a little English by then. She can tell us what she thinks.
Well, she had this AI things over here, man, that you can talk to her and she understands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This little headphone, and that's what they say is AI. And you speak in English, and this thing's be translated to her everything in Portuguese. And then she's speaking back to you, and you can get the other side put on you, and she's speaking in Portuguese to you. You will understand what she said. That is wild. I can't believe that. So she be having fun with that. She's understanding everybody. She's been talking with everybody. Yeah. So you come and talk to her, she's gonna. She give one for you, she keep one, and she talk to you.
That's
like,
pretty cool. I guess maybe I've heard of that. I don't know if I've ever seen one.
I heard that. I thought it was not current, but it is current, man. I buy one. Actually, I did. I said buy, but actually, somebody gave it to us as a gift, and it really works.
I work with a lot of Japanese guys, and they've got enough English so you can communicate. But I was like, that could be useful at work sometimes.
100%.
So, it talks about something a little more in depth. Yeah, I need to get those.
You do.
We didn't understand Kozo hardly any time. He would spend the weekend with us, like every weekend. We had a hard time sometimes.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend. That's how the things works.
That's cool.
She even watching TV with these things, man. Seriously, you know.
She's never gonna learn English.
Yeah, I know. It's spoiled, you know.
Yeah, spoiled. There you go. Spoiled over in America.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's pretty good. So if you want to, I mean, you got your gym in town,
right here in Columbiana.
Right here in Columbiana, Ground Strike Grappling.
Ground Strike Grappling.
It's right there. Kind of go towards Calera past McDonald's. Right there. It's right behind that. Right by the church right there. If you want to go in there and sign up for some training, jiu-jitsu. I think you got some kickboxing classes.
I do have Muay Thai over there too as well.
Yeah. So there. If you want to go check that out, please do. Hayo.
Yeah. We got we have class for everybody. Yes. We got class for everybody. We got for ladies only.
What about tall people with bad backs?
You gotta come back in there. We'll find a spot for you. I guarantee you.
Well, I may have to do that because I've been doing some working out with stretching my back, and I need to be a little more mobile. Yeah. So I may have to come up there.
That helps with flexibility for sure.
Yeah. But man, thanks for coming on. Like I said, I knew we couldn't get everything out, but we'll get your fighting stuff next time, and then maybe your family, and then maybe after that, when you get back from your deployment, you come on.
That'll be a pleasure.
Because we've been gone for so long, but we'll get you on then and talk about that.
100%.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
So one thing we gotta get everybody to do is sign a brick over here with your name.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody comes on it. I'm gonna turn this thing off real quick. And,
Roger that. Do it now. Whoops. About to cut. All right. Which one is anywhere here?
Anywhere, man. Anywhere.
All right. So I'm gonna put this one here.